I have one for my mom, but I have one for all of you guys.
That's so cool.
That's the best ever. You totally blew the surprise.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Jax is here. We're so excited. She's all a part of our national iHeartRadio Jingle Ball tour. And you will be on stage with us at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Freaking out.
We really haven't talked about that yet. What was it like getting that request? Hey, would you mind, Jax, performing on the stage at Madison Square Garden at this huge event?
I cried, and my mom was there, and she cried. My dad was there, and he cried because, like, I don't know, you wouldn't remember, but I did the Z100 like Battle of the Bands type of thing when I was a kid to try to play the day stage at the Garden when I was maybe 12 or 13 years old, and I lost brutally. Like, it was one of those things we make fun of all the time. It was our biggest L as a kid band, and now so like it's so full circle that like I actually get to, aside from the fact that it's the Garden and it's like your number one bucket list if you're from New York, like I'm bugging out. It's gonna be insane.
So cool.
Please feel free to bug out. Now look,
I'm bugging.
looking back at 2022, wow, what a year. I mean, will this be the year that will be like the defining foundational year for the rest of your life? I mean, talk about this past year, and can you just headline it? Like, what were the big headlines for you, Jax?
Oh God. Okay. Well, I'm on the Jingle Ball tour, which is nutty. So there's arenas and I'm singing at them. And my song just went top 10 and
Yes.
I got my first Billboard Hot 100. I got to meet every single person I've died to meet my entire life. I get to talk about the things that I talk about with my therapist in music with little girls that listen to my music and their parents. And I don't, to be honest with you, people keep asking how this year is. And my entire life as a singer and a songwriter, I have checked off every single bucket list thing I could just pretty much die happy after this year.
Oh,
I don't even.
Well, don't do that.
I'm gonna die.
What I love for you and what our prayer for you is that 2022 will just kind of just morph into 2023 and you're going to have another kick-ass year, Jax. Seriously.
Sure.
Oh, question.
I mean, yeah. Hit me.
You said you met all of the people that you ever wanted to meet. Who all did you get to meet that you were waiting for?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's really, really good question. I met some major songwriters that are like people I've aspired to write with. I've met like Drew Barrymore was a huge one. John Stamos was crazy. Yeah, that was pretty insane. I just met Shania Twain like 2 weeks ago, casually, like just rolled up to Shania Twain's house like it was no big deal. And, yeah. And honestly, every day I'm meeting someone new. I got to hang out with you guys like a million times this year, and I've listened to you guys my whole life. Everybody.
You know, it's kind of interesting. Out of all the names, other than the different writers that you said you met, all the other people you said that you really were incredibly excited about meeting: John Stamos, Shania Twain, Drew Barrymore, us. I mean, all people.
Yeah.
All
Elvis
people,
Duran.
No, really, these are all people from your childhood, basically.
Yeah.
You met a lot of people from when you were a young Jax.
Yeah, and it's weird. They all look like exactly the same as I remember. I like want to just touch their face when I meet them. I'm like, this is really happening? I feel like I always thought, like, you ever watch The Walking Dead? My brother and I had like a plot twist in The Walking Dead after all these seasons that Rick was in a coma the whole time. And then like by the end of the entire series, they wake him up and the apocalypse never happened. That's what I feel like this year is. I feel like I'm in a coma.
we did that concert with you. It was the end of Summer Bash outside at Hudson Yards here in New York City. And of course, it was standing room only. There was no room. And of course, when you came out on stage, Jax, even though you said you've met these big celebrities and it was really great for you, our friend Phil brought his little daughter and held her up near the front of the stage. You actually sang to her.
With the space buns, right?
Yes.
I remember her. Yes.
When I see your audience, young and old, really just singing along and enjoying not only your music, but the message in your music, I think, God, that's icing on the year-end cake, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, like, they say to write what you know. And there have been like phases of my songwriting where I've been like trying to, be too mysterious or sexy about it or whatever it is. And like, it turns out I'm like, I've never had younger sisters. I do love to babysit. I've always felt like pretty maternal. And I think like that all happened for a reason, that all of a sudden, like, all these young kids are in my life and I get to kind of like speak to them and warn them about like weird little things that I went through growing up. And I'm like, this is just, it's my favorite part of the entire thing. It's the part if you ask my boyfriend, I woke up yesterday hysterical, like watching a TikTok of a little girl crying that I commented on a TikTok, which I was like, this is not cry worthy, but now I'm crying and you're crying. We're all crying. So it's just like, it's really, really cool.
Has anybody reached out to you that you're like, that you want to work with me? What?
Oh my gosh. I almost everybody. Well, to be honest with you, like the way I like book the collaborations I do on TikTok is I harass people. Like I totally stalk them and I just like keep commenting until somebody answers me. But sometimes people will reach out. Like John Stamos was one of them. That he DM'd me where he was like, "Hey, we should get together." I'm like, "We should get together." Like same with Shania Twain too did reach out, and I was like, am I unpunked? Like this is. I thought when I did Ellen, I thought the Ellen email was like someone trying to steal my credit card information. Yeah. Because it like felt too weird. I was like, nah, this is so sus. I was like, good luck, Ellen DeGeneres. You're not gonna get my social security today.
Jax, you know what? No one deserves the most incredible year you just had and the most incredible year you're about to have more than you. Yeah. And by the way, speaking of your maternal instincts, as a mom on the stage, aren't you giving a special gift to all your people on stage at Jingle Ball?
I have a little gift on stage for Jingle Ball, but I don't know if we're talking about the same thing right now.
Didn't you like crochet a bunch of sweaters?
Oh, yes. But yes, I have one for my mom, but I have one for all of you guys.
That's so cool. That's the best ever. You totally blew the surprise.
I blew the surprise.
Surprise blow.
Oh man, it's pretty funny. It's have yourself a scary little Christmas. I think like Elvis Duran, and then like your face is on an elf. I have one for Gandhi. I have one for Danielle, and then they're like jingle bell puns and stuff. Like I saw Gandhi kissing Santa Claus. I think it was or something.
Look at that. I don't know.
Yay!
Not only did she design them, she personally sewed each and every one of them.
I have one right here. Time to do this.
She's going to get one.
She's going to get one.
Wait, I have one here. I don't know which one this is.
How do you have time to do this?
Oh yeah, this one was 2 turtle doves, like Dove Cameron's face on this.
My God, that's almost large enough for me to wear. That one.
I told her yesterday when I met her, and it was so creepy. And I did the same thing with Lav, and I felt so creepy. It's not the way I like had imagined it going. It was like when it's like the word vomit, and I was like, I wore your face on me today, and then she was like, what? I was like, I made a sweater and it's your face, and I was wearing it, and she was like, that's cool, nice to meet you too. I was like, great, I'm going home now. I'm never gonna speak of this again. Now here I am on Zoom.
So cool. Well, look, before we let you go, you got things to do. Good God, you've got an iHeartRadio Jingle Ball tour to go do.
True.
What's on your wish list? I mean, you've been so busy giving out gifts to other people through your music and through your sweaters. The Macy's wish list Wednesday list. We're making lists. Yeah. What do you want on your list? Go. Okay.
There is like a remote control helicopter that I'm going to get from my nephew on there. There's a s'mores maker. I love s'mores. I don't know. S'mores. I think I might just get a bunch of those and just like do the blanket. Like you get a s'more maker. You get a s'more maker. And then for my boyfriend, he loves whiskey, so that whiskey flight is looking good. And now I just blew it because he's like sitting right there and he's like.
Excellent. Well, look, you know what? It'd be silly to let you go before we played a song that I've heard rumor is in the top 10.
It's really happening. The rumor is what I just told you.
So cool.
Well, Jax, Merry Christmas. We'll see you on stage at Madison Square Garden. We can't wait to see you.
I'm so excited.
It's Jax, Victoria's Secret.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.